All right, I watched the third episode of New Doctor Who, so you don't have to. Yes, you can thank me for my sacrifice in the comments. Thank you for your service, JDA. Interestingly enough, this is a military-themed episode, and it's just got subversive communist themes throughout the entire thing. So the media loves it. Talks algorithms, Easter eggs. IGN reviewed it as a 10 out of 10. Beautiful stuff. But we will get into the truth of what's happening right here on this review of Doctor Who Boom by Steven Moffat. I'm a professional sci-fi writer and have been for a long time. This is one of my books, The Stars Entwined. I've got a full series, The Orician War, which I would love for you to check out. It's a trilogy. If you like good science fiction, this is for you. There's a great space war in it without the anti-capitalist, anti-Christian messaging that the Doctor Who episode has. So please check this out. That link's in the description below. It's available on ebook, print, and audio if you have Audible credits, and I appreciate you guys for supporting this. I know the Doctor Who fans are the best fan base out there for science fiction lovers, and you've shown it over the last month as I've been covering the train wreck that's going on the BBC and Disney+. So this is where the episode starts and finishes for Doctor Who. For episode 3. I actually fell asleep about 25 minutes into it. It's about a 46-minute episode, as I recall. So almost halfway through, I just my eyes got heavy. I got tired. I couldn't do much. Just like the Doctor here, he literally steps on a electronic landmine and then stands there for the entire episode. I think this is meant to be a low-budget move here because obviously they just had to make one kind of green screen background, and then they stayed here. It was visually very boring for the entire series. That's why they had a couple moments where it changed, like at the end when they're showing the horizon and he's saying, "Oh, you've never been off planet and you've seen the sunrise and all this," just to give a little visual differentiation. But this it's a bottle episode in one little small location. And it's a good way, when you've got a high-budget show that's been going crazy for the last 2 episodes, which it has, you need these low-budget episodes in order to make the season go. Incidentally, even though I fell asleep, and even though this was exceedingly low-budget and visually boring the entire time, it still is the best episode of the season, as a spoiler, I guess. And there will be spoilers in this because I don't care, and you shouldn't care either at this juncture. R.I.P. Doctor Who. So, it starts out with this lady who's a soldier. Of course, it's a lady soldier every time now. Every warrior has to be a woman, lesbian, whatever, in everything. And she's got a dude who's simping for her. And they're out on this planet, and there's a little girl involved who's the daughter of one of these people. And they go out, and one dude steps on a landmine who's the father. He ends up getting killed and processed, and they just coldly process him into this little tube thing, and then the Doctor steps on one of these landmines as they show up, and then it's all about trying to get the Doctor off the landmine so he doesn't blow things up, because he's got so much energy in him. If he blows up, the whole planet's going to blow up. And the lady comes out of this, and it's about the lady and Ruby rescuing the Doctor, and this is kind of the theme of what's kind of going on throughout all of this in the new Who, is the Doctor's really not that competent. He's not really the Doctor anymore. It's really, really sad to watch, just on the writing level, that this character just has nothing to root for. He just sucks. And then Gatwa's performance is very, very over the top and flamboyant in everything. And he just, he takes you out of it with his bad acting, too. His just try hard acting. He has no gravitas. He has nothing you can root for. It's really sad. See, that's why I fell asleep. It's just boring. And so this progresses along as they try to figure out the landmine. There's these in the landmine setup's pretty cool. I like that. Steven Moffat is doing a little bit better of a job than Russell T Davies, at least making a sci-fi concept out of it. I'll give him that. At least it's a sci-fi episode of Doctor Who. And so this ambulance thing comes along, and the ambulance, mobile ambulance drone things are there in order to just mitigate costs. And so they evaluate your health based on what they think your cost is, and then they terminate you if they think it's going to cost too much. And the war, it turns out, which, it's kind of a stupid plot that really doesn't make sense once you start to break it down. There's no actual bad guys. So they go out to, quote, fight this war. They end up getting injured and stuff like that themselves. And there's no bad guy out there for them to actually fight. It's a completely manufactured thing for the corporation to just produce more weaponry, make more profits, and keep going. And so it's an anti-capitalist heavy message. And you can ignore that and just say, okay, the cool landmine thing, the cool ambulance thing, sci-fi. Like I said, at least there's some sci-fi concepts in it. That's what makes it the best episode of the season. And it was all right. From that level, it wasn't, most of the dialogue was not as nearly as heavy-handed as Russell T Davies. There were a couple moments where it was forced LGBTQ stuff, where the Doctor makes a ramble about a lesbian again, and he uses the word lesbian just like he did last episode. It's like they're obsessed with this in Doctor Who. And then later on, he actually suggests that Ruby Sunday marry the woman who's the strong female lead soldier, and he's very adamant about it. And so it's like, okay. So you virtue signal. You had two instances of the LGBT virtue signaling, and something that it really didn't even need it at all. And actually, the plot was that there's a guy out there kind of simping for her, the strong female lead, who just is not even confessing his love to her, and it's too late. He ends up dying, and it's kind of tragic. So it really was out of place to put that in there. It was the forced diversity nonsense that just kind of kills everything in modern entertainment. That said, like I said, it's not as bad as Russell T Davies' version of this stuff. So as this goes along, there's a few weird messaging parts. You could see that the soldiers are wearing priest collars. So not only is it a anti-corporate message, which I don't mind corporations are soulless and terrible, but the anti-capitalism about just how this is, just the capitalism to its extreme ruins everything. Is then amplified by the fact that they're called Anglican soldiers. So these hyper-religious zealots are being manipulated by capitalism, and it's an anti-Christian sort of thing. And it's really weird. There's some weird dialogue in it that, again, doesn't really make sense, as the Doctor says he doesn't like faith, which is weird because also in the episode, he goes, anything is possible. If you just have enough faith, you can do anything. So very contradictory messages from the Doctor himself in this. Very weird. And I think Stephen Moffat just wanted to make an anti-Christian message in it. And it's really sad that he did so. The sci-fi, it's an interesting sci-fi sort of thing. It looks kind of cool. I do like the little time-bomby, whatchamacallit? Why am I blanking on this? Sci-fi weaponry. I'll just go right there with that. And so there were some redeeming parts about it, and that's way better than the other episodes. So overall, I would rate this a 6 out of 10. And if I call a 7 an average sort of deal, I'd call this a 6 because the messaging that was thrown in there was annoying. It was slow paced to where I fell asleep, and visually boring because the Doctor was literally just standing in one spot. A mine, that's the word I was looking for. I'll fix it and edit, guys. But it did have science fiction concepts. At least it was coherent, and they solved a problem, and they ended up solving the war. At least there's that. That's way better than the first two episodes where it was just absolutely bizarre and nonsensical, breaking out into musical numbers and throwing you out of the immersion of the episode. And so Ruby Sunday also created snow. She almost died. And in that, snow fell on the planet, oddly, which, in a place that's out of place, to build up her mystery again. But it feels like Moffat, threw those, he threw those, the lesbian quips in there. And then that, it felt like those were editorial notes that were just, inserted into the episode rather than Stephen Moffat, going full tilt like Russell T Davies did. So at least there is some sci-fi to Doctor Who. And if you want to watch one episode of the new series just to check it out, this is the one that's the most tolerable out of them. We'll give it that. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Did you watch the episode or not? I don't know. Probably not, I'm guessing. Hit the like and subscribe button, and make sure to check out my books on Amazon. I appreciate you guys for being there.